Lady Gaga is headlining the outrage coming from the celebrity crowd over President Donald Trump's ban on transgenders in the military. Gaga took to Twitter and issued him what she thought was a scathing tweet. "You're going to love the response she just got as the liberal loons went nuts over the epic smackdown she received in return. It's been a feeding frenzy on social media by the Hollywood elites who think they know better than the commander-in-chief how our military should run. None of the haters have been in the military, but that doesn't stop them from publicly making fools out of themselves." Yesterday, Donald Trump announced on Twitter that trans folks would no longer be allowed to join the military. Granted, it came out later that there was nothing actually in the works for this and that those trans who currently serve would not be kicked out, but that didn't stop Lady Gaga from going gaga over his tweets, reported Twitchy. "Wow, I'm sure you see the big fat problem with this tweet. As sad as it may be, it's a pretty universally accepted fact that those who attempt suicide are mentally ill. What brings people to suicide or even suicidal ideation is usually depression and hopelessness, which can be caused by a situational crisis or from a genetic mental illness where depression is a symptom. It can also be a diagnosis on its own, but I digress. The main point to realize here is mentally ill people can't be in the military anyway." After Lady Gaga tweeted to Trump about transgenders being suicidal, she got a major smackdown on Twitter. Other Hollywood liberal loons joined in, trying to make their point, which kept coming back to the suicide rate. However, it certainly didn't go as they had hoped. Here were the responses to Lady Gaga. If Gaga's numbers are right, the 45% of transgenders who are suicidal can't blame it on being banned from the military or banned from anything else for that matter. They are already suicidal. This is why the liberals think they can legislate away any problems that they think come from what they believe is non-acceptance of a certain lifestyle. In the real world, people are free to think whatever they want, and some people will never agree with what the liberals mistake as human rights. Which brings us to Star Wars star Mark Hamill, who got into a Twitter war with Jenna Jameson, a former porn star turned conservative Trump supporter. Jameson schooled Hamill and his minions on how ridiculous their beef with Trump on this transgender ban really is. The Jameson-Hamill war morphed into one snowflake saying transgenders are suicidal due to societal discrimination. Again, the comeback in the last tweet below is truly awesome. Yeah, that last one was a definite drop the mic moment as Kavarais pointed out that blacks were not offing themselves just prior to the Civil Rights Act. The bleeding heart snowflakes are so confused about basic human rights. It's pretty simple. We have a right to life, a right to be free, and a right to live the way we want, pursue happiness. We don't have a right to an education, a particular career, health care, or making people like us. President Trump issued that ban due to what was going on with the GOP in the House. It was a quid pro quo to save funding for the southern border wall and many of his other agenda items that they were threatening to veto. Sometimes, not everything is about these snowflakes, and Trump isn't sitting up in the White House plotting evil deeds to inflict on any segment of the population. That's just plain juvenile to make him out to be Dr. Evil, but then again, those in the Snowflake Brigade aren't known as deep thinkers, and they never will be. Please share the story and tell us what you think by clicking one of the buttons below. We want to hear your voice.